Greetings, fellow ham radio operators. Hope everybody's been doing well. It's Jeff from Virginia Beach, K4AVK. Hey, it's been a while since I posted my last video, or my first video, my only video actually, as far as a station tour that I did at the time, and got a lot of positive comments, and I certainly appreciate those. I have made some changes to the station, and wanted to take you through some of those since I think that was last December, and show you kind of what I've been doing. And the intent of all this is I'm still learning. As I said in my first video, I've only been a ham about 3 years, so I've been trying to build quick and I've been making some changes, and as the pocketbook could afford, so that's been nice. But the intent is to, you know, somebody may see something what I'm doing here that may help them. I look at videos, and I have some friends that have been doing this for a long time, and always get fresh ideas. So I figured I would give you an update of what I've been doing, or what I added, and maybe some changes, some more changes that are coming. But anyway, let's get to it, and I'll show you what I've done. All right, be back in a moment. Okay, well, the most significant change I have made is I got a new amplifier. I think I added this in April time frame. But anyway, it's the Expert, SPE Expert 1.3 FA. This one is 1300 watts, 3 power settings. Low is 500, mid is 1000, and high is the full 1.3. So just a little bit under legal limit, but it's a great amp. These come with or without, this particular model, with or without a tuner. I didn't add a tuner to mine. I decided just to go with the external tuner. But they work great without the tuner, with a tuner, or with the internal tuner. They are great amplifiers. It's I got a cable that hooks up to my 7610, so it tracks, and this thing is a great amp. If you're looking for an amp, I'd encourage you to look one of these up. But anyway, you can have 2 radios connected to it, selectable, and 4 different antennas. I use it basically 1 input in, 1 input out, but it can do a lot. Fully software defined. It'll let you know what the SWR is. Solid state amps are sensitive to SWR, but the tuner takes care of that. You hardly know it's running. Once you hit operate, it's ready to go. And it only takes 15 to 20 watts to drive whatever output level you got. So that was a big add, and it's definitely probably allowed me to make a few contacts. 500 will get most of what I'm after, but sometimes when you want to cut through a pile up, I turn it up, and I get the results I'm looking for. All right, that's the amplifier. We'll move on to the next upgrade. Moving over here, as a result of getting a bigger amp. My last amp was 500, and that's since gone over to my son's house. He's a general class operator. We haven't put it in operation yet, but hope to do that soon. So going with an external tuner, I needed to add a bigger one. My initial tuner was 600 watts. Actually, he's sitting on top of the amp right now. So I went with the MFJ IntelliTuner, the 998, and it's a full 1500 watts. So it tunes my antenna well. It tunes my antennas well, and most every match I can get is right down 1.0, 1.0, 1.1. So, and the amp, of course, it likes that. It doesn't like very much in the way of SWRs. Most solid state amps don't. So this antenna tuner certainly helps me get there. A couple of things over here. I'm not sure if I had the power meter in the last video. Just an outside reference. If I did, then excuse me for pardon the redundancy, but added that and gives me an external reference, and I certainly like that. Setting on top of that, in my last video I had a mixer. I ultimately decided to take that out for a few reasons. There were pros and cons to doing that, so I've gone back to some individual speakers, which works fine. That one's actually hooked up to the ICOM, the ID 5100 that's right off to the side that I did have in the last video. Beside the meter, sitting there kind of inverted, is haven't learned CW. By the time I got my license, I didn't have to. I would like to. That is a goal. In the interim, I went with a software package called MRP40. Some of you may be familiar. I don't have any CW stations going, but I'll show you what the software looks like if you haven't seen it. So that's my interface to the ICOM 7610, and that allows me to do a USB in it's basically a sound card, but it also lets me do a direct key through CW. So I've made some good contacts. Actually participated in a couple of contests from really answering. I didn't technically participate. I just answered a few stations because the QSOs are pretty quick. So did that, and I've dabbled in a little bit, made some European contacts on CW. So that's kind of cool. So I do a little bit of that. Haven't done a lot, but I have that capability. I've got a fellow ham friend that calls it fuzzy CW. So again, goal is to learn how to do it for real, and then I'll be ready to go. In the interim, I can use the MRP40 software and the Rig Blaster Advantage card. Couple things to note on my Rotator controller. I don't know, sometime between the last video and now, the lights burned out. So actually got a replacement LED kit, and while I was at it, I got an interface card. So it actually interfaces to my computer, and I believed, as I showed you last time, I still use MacLogger DX because I'm logging on a Mac, and this is primarily for a 20-meter antenna. So I've got it set up, and anytime I'm on 20 meters and I enter a call sign, the Rotator will go wherever the station is. So I wasn't necessarily looking to do that in the beginning, but it's kind of handy when you actually have it there and you just enter the call sign and the Rotator goes to where it needs to go. Okay, moving down a little farther. Mentioned that I had taken the mixer out and went with individual speakers. So this one right here is mated to the 7610, and I actually like it a lot. It's got some filtering on it, and get good clarity on all of that. So that's where I chose to go with that, and it works well. Above that is a HDMI matrix. The monitor above the this side of the room above the Rotator, I actually have a couple things feeding that. I now feed the output of the ICOM 7610 into the monitor, and I also, through this matrix or the switcher, if I need to look at the map coming out of my logbook software, I actually get that there. The 7300, still using that. That's really for FT8, so if I want to hear what's going on, I just crank up the volume a little bit, and here there's some activity beyond the waterfall in the software, and turn it back down. That's about the extent of what I use coming out of that radio, audio-wise. Moving over here, not much has changed other than I just wanted to show you. This is the MRP software. There's not anything, no CW signals coming in right now, but if they were, for those of you not familiar with it, you center it up in the red lines there, and it'll actually start decoding, and then you have some basically some scripts that you can fill out, custom scripts, enter call sign, and basically it'll help you answer, or you can direct type or right into the keyboard and have a QSO that way. You can set the speed, pretty much transmit speed based on kind of what the receive speed is, and I've seen some phenomenal receive speeds where guys are out there typing 30 words a minute. It's going to take me a while to get to that. Alright, stand by a second. Alright, one of the more recent ads was this vintage Kenwood TS520S. I actually found it through a friend of my wife's. Her husband had bought it originally around 1980, so it's definitely vintage, and got a good deal. Just wanted, it was in boxes and been packed away for a while, so I found out about it, and I wanted to add it to the station. As you can hear, it's got a good receive. Let me turn that down a little bit. I have had it on the air, but it's been boxed up for a while, so it needs I need somebody to go through it, probably look at the caps, a good cleaning, but I don't think it'll take too much. As you can see, I've got the matching speaker, the matching tuner, and actually a digital display that plugs into the back that helps with tuning. So it's a really cool piece. And I got the disc mic here, as you can see. So I got a piece of vintage equipment that was built well before I ever thought about getting in the ham radio. But I'm going to get this fixed up, and I'm going to use it to talk around and see what we can do with it. So it's a pretty cool piece. All right, hey, I appreciate everybody stopping by, and again, I appreciate the comments from my first video. You know, like I say, I had these did these updates to the station, and I wanted to show everybody what I was doing. And I'm I'm continuing to learn. I have got one more addition that I know I'm going to make. And I kind of mulled this around, but I decided I wanted to go down this path because I'm interested possibly in some satellite communications. So I did place a ICOM 9700 on order, which is a tri-band, which is UHF, VHF, and SHF. A radio setup, great for satellite. So I've got a lot to learn there. I've been watching some videos on those. Again, I've got a fellow ham friend that's done it all, and he's done some satellite communications, quite a bit of it. So that's one of the things I want to explore. And I've got the ID 5100, and I do use the VHF, mostly VHF, but there's some VHF, UHF repeaters around here. I do have a Zum spot, and I have it connected to D-Star, and I can do all that on the other radio, but what I can't do is sideband on those frequencies, and obviously could do the satellite, I guess, but this one is set up for it, and they're in there, and just going to make it easier. So I like the idea of having the scopes for hunting down frequencies, so I hope to have some fun with that. So I got a little work to do to get that set up. Again, probably won't be here till late January, February time frame, but I am looking forward to it, and I am going to go ahead and do that. Anyway, I appreciate everybody's checking in just to see what I got going on there. I'm certainly welcome for any comments, any feedback. You know, I've been at it 3 years, so I am still learning. I recognize that. You know, at some point in time, I'd love to put videos out there showing folks how to do stuff, but I'm still learning, and, you know, if it comes up and, you know, the stuff I have, if anybody has a question that I might be able to help, I'm glad to do that. Otherwise, I saw 73s, everybody. Solar cycle should be improving at this point in time, so looking forward to great DX, and I hope everybody out there can as well. So with that, we'll say 73s. This is K4AVK, Jeff from Virginia Beach. Take care, everybody.